Hello everybody, it's Cedric and CJ here, CR Wrestling Commentary, and we will be reviewing WWE's Backlash that took place in Lyon, France. And they trolling AEW because AEW got a habit of cannibalizing their own stuff by having the same show in the same place back-to-back nights and whatnot. So that's what they do. They just not over like that. And their ticket prices are crazy. WWE is too popular to fail. That's about how that is. So people will spend their hard money, especially in a place that they don't get a chance to see WWE that much.
A rarity.
So this crowd was, I thought SmackDown was live. Nope. This crowd is crazy.
They were all the way live.
All
they were
the
like a soccer crowd on steroids.
Yes.
The entire show. No breaks, no lulls.
No pause, no nothing. The crowd stayed lit.
Every 2 count.
It just without fail.
Without fail.
I've got my issues with the crowd. I do, but there are things that I'm just gonna accept. I just gotta accept it. And there, I took notes, but I didn't go full on and stuff because I'm just not doing it that way anymore. So look, you're here, you're invited, to listen and whatnot, and be like, man, I was there to hear them when they did this before they uploaded it and all that, So, or just voice bomb, whatever you got to say. So, as long as you don't say nothing all stupid or anything, don't get crazy, no terms of service stuff. So, all right, we're going to get into this. So, it starts off with the tag team match. Randy Orton, Kevin Owens versus the Bloodline with Paul Heyman. The fans are chanting, we want Roman. The match was a jump start into a straight brawl. The brawl is so bad that staff and officials have to try to bring order to it. Owens stuns some of the staff. Nick Aldis comes out to the ring telling everyone to stop. He makes the match a full-on street fight with 0 rules, and the fans fully erupt over that. And I thought, okay, they're pretty much going to wear their voices out early. Nope. I was wrong.
They had their tea and honey before they got there.
Yep. The faces pummel the heels with ease for a while. The heels get a hope spot, which is, I find, the heels shouldn't be getting hope spots. It should be reversed. But Randy shuts down the hope spot. The match stays outside the ring where the faces dominate the heels mercilessly, violently, and savagely. Just beat on them. The faces get weapons and the fans chant for tables. The indie crowd has fully taken over the modern ways to cheer for a match. The fans chant ECW. The faces get tables and the fans are still chanting and woeing random things. Some things we could discern, like this is awesome and stuff like that. But there's something they was chanting. We'll get to that later, but it's like, I wish I knew. It'd been nice if they had some kind of translate at the bottom for the things that were safe to translate.
Yeah, because they had their full French going.
Let's see. The fans, I admit, add a lot to a match. And they did.
Because we're used to, dead crowds.
Very
That's what's
dead
over
crowds.
here in the States. The crowds are dead.
Tama on the table. Owens, with Tama on the table. Owens, he hit a nice frog splash from the apron and then just hollered in Tama's face. Mm-hmm. I was typing this and I heard the hollering. I thought it was Tama selling, and she's like, "Don't splash me," and then hollering in my face. I was like,
and
that
it
was
wasn't just one. He was just hollering over. It's like 5 or 6 times. He just screaming in dude's face.
In the ring, Sikoa counters Randy and Samoan drops him through a table, half turning the tide. Sikoa takes down Owens, gaining full control of the match. Tama is up and in the ring stomping on Owens. He was all over Kevin Owens in the ring. So that looked good. It looked vicious and whatnot. The faces then get a hope spot and Tama shuts that down. Randy Orton turns the tide by taking out Sikoa and then Tama pretty much by himself. Randy hits the Ace Crusher for a 2 count and Sikoa breaks up the pin. The fans have not stopped chanting. I had to put they had not stopped chanting. They are on par with the Star Wars soundtrack. The history of Star Wars is simple. The music doesn't stop the whole movie. It don't stop. Sikoa on the announce table with Orton is countered and Ace crushed without breaking the table. So that makes it worse. In the ring, Owens beats on Tama with the chair and lays him down on a line of chairs. And I was like, well, Darby Allin did it. We'll just see how this go. After a good battle up top, Owens hit a super Northern Lights driver on the chairs. It was supposed to be a brain buster. It was not. It was. I've seen a Northern Lights driver. That was it. Owens makes the cover and Tonga Loa pulls the ref out and nails Randy and Kevin with the steel-looking steps. I think they're just heavy aluminum.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
But I was like, hello, brother. Sikoa hits the Samoan spike on Owens and gains the pinfall, which I predicted they would win and it worked. And at what?
Let me slip in there. There's when they're out on the floor, they break out the kendo sticks.
Yeah, that was earlier. I was like, weapons. I mean,
No. You didn't see it. Okay?
I heard it, but I didn't see it.
Tama Tonga was on the table.
He was on the table.
He was on the table, and Randy hit him with the kendo stick. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He bowed up like he should have.
Mm-hmm.
Then he hit him again. It was so hard. He hit him, and I was like, damn, that was hard. Because, the kendo sticks bend, and it's quick, but you could see it wrapped to the curvature of his back.
Mm-hmm.
And then for the rest of the match, he had a nice long horizontal whip that was reddish and a little bit purple from one side along his shoulder blades to the up.
Oh, see, that's why I didn't see it, because I kept looking at the small of the back. I didn't look upwards.
It was up top.
I was just thinking, I was like, part of his outfit is on his back. And I just
It was nasty.
I was just too busy typing. I was like, okay, part of his outfit is on him, and I just moved on.
There won't no seeing through that. I had to put that in there.
After the match, Paul Heyman kneels over Kevin Owens, trying to keep Sikoa from attacking him any further. And that was pretty much it, at least for the moment. Then next we get the women's title triple threat match. That's Tiffany Stratton versus Naomi versus Bayley. And so we skipped. I did not care for this. If this was a good match, hey, y'all can inform me down there in the comment section if this was a good match to you. Naomi bores the hell out of me, and I don't care for Tiffany. And while Bayley has had some flowers thrown at her from some people, I just don't really see it for me. Her intro and her joy and whatnot, that's infectious. I'm gonna give it that. But Bayley reverses a roll up by Naomi into one of her own and then pins her, the Trish Adora of WWE.
Yes.
I called her the Fall Girl, but then Cedra was like Trish Adora does. And I was like, yeah, Trish only wins to get a spot, and then she loses to the champion or whoever the top one is at that moment.
Uh-huh.
So, thank you for coming for Naomi. In the back, the Bloodline, normally I wouldn't even do the backstage stuff, but, this is Bloodline stuff, so I'm going to say something. The Bloodline passes Jey Uso, who prepares for his match with Damian Priest, but Heyman stops, and he just looks at him, and he shakes his head. It was like a desperation look of saying, do not come back to the Bloodline. Please stay away from this. And Heyman he is so convincing in his role. This is yelling us all in your own nose. They pretty much did repeat everything though.
Start with the opening before you get to the match. Are you gonna cover that, or are you just gonna skip over it?
What, to the heavyweight title match?
Yeah. Jey Uso.
Okay. I was going to skip it.
You want me to go over it? I can do it.
Yeah, do some talking. Do something. Participate. Help me.
You got the notes right there, man.
You read them, obviously.
What you want me to do? Read them?
You ain't got to read them, but I did not go over the opening at all.
Hush up now.
Look, check on these grains.
So Jey Uso came out. I'm unfamiliar with this dude, but he was out in the audience. Everybody had the lights on their phone. He had his music going, and apparently his thing is yeet.
Yeah.
And the entire crowd was participating. The entire crowd was participating. Now, in the first match, it kind of had an indie match feel to it, right? With all the woes, they were woeing at every weapon coming out. No, but when this part started, it was like this crowd is something different. It's not just the indie crap we're accustomed to here in the U.S. They were on board for as long as it took. He went down to the crowd. He finally got to the ring. It went on for like another 2 or 3 minutes while he was in the ring.
Jey was stunned at this.
I mean, they were all the way live. This audience dictated the pace of the show.
It will start when we stop chanting.
Yeah, exactly. And it was impressive. It was like, no, this crowd, they are here for it. Everybody, not just the front row, and like people just sitting in the cheap seats like I can't see anywhere. I'm just
all the way to the back where you should be like, you know what, I'm just here to be in the atmosphere.
From top to bottom, they were all the way live.
Jey Uso, he's got Macho Man's type shades on, and he does a little bit of the Rock's stuff here and there, but I'm gonna go through the notes, but I mean it was what it was. That's pretty much all I can say about the match. It was what it was. Okay, hold up. What in the world? I'm trying to drag this thing down so I can get more in there. There we go. Hey, more words. All right. Write all this down and can't even read it. That's just terrible. Just unprofessional. Hold up. See got a little paranoid there. So I was hoping that it didn't stop. Okay, Jey got. Yeah, I read all that. Go ahead. Priest comes out to a small amount of pyro.
It was terrible.
Like his belt means nothing.
It didn't even show it. You just heard it.
It was like
pop.
Yeah, just pop. And the crowd is kind of. He doesn't have music to really go with. Mm-mm. There's no whoa in it, so the crowd didn't really care. But I was like, his intro gear is very Undertaker-y.
Yeah.
So you got a Randy Savage-like, and you got an Undertaker on intro. And I'm not taking many notes at all, but good grief, the fans are 100% lit.
Yep.
Jey hit a massive body press for a 2 count. Priest hit a crucifix powerbomb for a 2 count. Jey hit a spear for a 2 count. Priest hit a sit-out choke slam, which looked really good, for a 2 count that stuns the fans into yeet chants. So they came up. Priest hit 2 lovely tornado kicks for nothing. Tornado kicks. That's like literally can be one of the strongest finishing kicks in wrestling. And it was for nothing. Then Jey counters a third with 3 foot jabs. Not super kicks, no. Foot jabs. I lost care at that point. So I was like, let's just fast forward. So Jey hit a splash for a 2 count. We skipped time. Uso hit a spear for some kind of 2 count. I don't know. Priest with a super sit-out chokeslam for a 3 count. After the match, Judgment Day, they attack Uso and Priest stops them. This indicates the start of a face turn, and soon they will distrust Priest and then jump him out and start a build for a title change. So that's all I got out of that. Next, we got the women's tag team title match. If there's something you want to add, go ahead.
Nope.
Okay, you good?
Mm-hmm.
Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill versus Kabuki Warriors, and the fans were there for Jade.
Yeah.
Good grief, they were there for Jade. Jade's outfit, I'm not a fan of. I am never a fan of women outfits where their breasts could just pop out.
And that's the problem she was having. I thought the same thing, but she had it all chain tight. She didn't have any over the shoulders. That was part of the problem. If she at least had, it was one piece and hooked over the shoulders and the back, and it was all together, it would have been better. But no, her entire back was out, and it was only connected. I mean, it was fastened in the back, of course, but then it was fastened around her neck. And one of the chains snapped, and later on, she was having some booby issues.
And she had to not do certain things to cover it up. And it was terrible.
It's a lesson learned, I'm sure.
This shouldn't have had to been learned. It should have been known since bikini tops and whatnot to the beach. Women have known, look, if you got on spaghetti straps, you don't need to be doing anything super physical.
She must have thought it was more secure than it was.
She was trying to be cute.
I'm sure she's trying to be cute, but she might have thought it was more secure than it was. Was that a quack?
Yeah, that was a quack.
Okay.
I don't know. I do not know where that quack
Maybe
came from.
somebody quack bombed. I don't know.
Maybe, because I can't see but so much here. Okay, so the faces take over and control the match from the start. The heels take over outside the ring and retain control for a while on Belair. So she's the Marty Jannetty, you know. She's the Rick Steiner, you know. She
just want to get whooped on.
Yep. Belair fights back with many small hope spots and eventually makes a hot tag. Jade gets the upper hand fast and does alternating stinger splashes. Jade takes an indie level beating of dueling strikes that should finish a match. So that was losing me. If it weren't for Jade Cargill, I wouldn't have wanted to watch the match in the first place. I just want to see how much she's learning and whatnot. So I know that Jade needs to work on her timing and reaction skills to aid in the opponent retaining their believable momentum.
And part of the problem is, as I said during the match, is that she seems hesitant to go with the moves that these little women are doing. And I think it's because the little women are used to wrestling little women. And she's just having a hard time figuring out what to do with these women, having to go with them. It looks very awkward.
She doesn't know how to look stunned. She doesn't know how to carry over a stunned move. She's just rigid. She's just so damn rigid.
I'm sure she would do better if she were able to wrestle with folks her size, but that's all of the women are tiny as hell.
She needs to wrestle alternating short, medium, and tall women.
They don't have any tall women.
Just wrestle. Wrestle often.
They don't have any tall
House
women.
shows all the way. House shows, get that in-ring work, even if it's got to be, you know, in a development area, something like that. Just get the work in. I know they're working with her, but they need to really just drill that into her. The heels get a double arm bar and then they get power bombed at the same time. And then they rest on the mat for a while. The faces get a good double team move on for a 2 count by Belair. Coyote hits the elbow drop for a 2 count as Jade breaks it up. Jade hits Jaded and Belair gets her finish, and then they become tag team champions.
Hey.
Which I disagree with. I do not think they should be champions so soon. I think Jade should get better in that ring before they gave her a belt. She's all right, but she cannot not carry a match. Tall women do not exist, John Laurinaitis.
And here's the thing, and WWE is notorious for
Pony is posting stuff on Discord, and I'm reading that.
Yeah, WWE is notorious for this. If you look good, they'll make you a star, even if you can't put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah, we've seen that.
And
yes.
we know that Jade looks phenomenal.
She looks great, but she's far from good. You know, it helps me realize AEW women are so subpar that Jade looked better than what she was. That's bad. I assumed you would like the match because Jade won. No, didn't like the match.
Jade needs some work. When she was in the ring, it was kind of clumsy, and there was a lull, like they didn't know what to do. When Belair was in there, it was smooth. It was smooth. But when Jade was in there and she was in there alone with the both of them, it was kind of herky jerky.
It was clumsy. It was awkward. Jade can apply the moves safely. That's what they've been working on her with, but she cannot carry a match right now.
Unless she only going to look good if she's dominating the whole time.
Yes.
And they need to work on that because you can't dominate
her
all the time.
selling didn't sell. Selling isn't taking a move. Selling is making the fans, the viewers, believe that move had a desired effect that it was meant to have. And she didn't do that. she was a 45-degree angle bent post getting smacked around by somebody.
And it just didn't look right.
So we get to the main event of the evening for the undisputed title. It's AJ Styles versus Cody Rhodes. The fans are extra live now.
AJ comes out.
They sound, compared to how it was for every other match, it makes the other matches seem like the fans were bored and quiet compared to what they were for this.
They are live when AJ comes out and they're chanting something very specific. It's obviously in French. We don't know what it is, but every time AJ took control, they chanted the same thing. It didn't fail. It didn't fail. Just like on every 2 count, 1, 2, and they would say something in French and then go into something immediately afterwards clapping. Every 2 count. By this point, I was enjoying the crowd.
Yeah, I didn't really care too much for the matches. I cared for the crowd at this juncture. I was like, and it hit, the crowd was so into the crowd, they forgot a match was going on. They stopped reacting to moves unless it was what they know them to do, and then they would whoa and all that. That's when you know they was into it. The indie stuff, yeah, but outside of that, they were just into themselves, it seems like.
And then let's not forget when Cody,
as you said earlier, this is a soccer crowd.
It's a soccer crowd. And when Cody came out, they sang his entire song. He got into the ring, and they're standing there, and then the music ends, and they're like, "We're not done." Yep. And they sing the rest of the verse. Now it's time to announce who's wrestling.
They finished part of Cody's song. Yeah, Pony, for real.
We paid for this ticket. We're gonna sing.
We'll sing until the singing's done. Okay, just for the intro alone, when the music hit, they started. Mm-hmm. Cody comes out and he's a little bewildered, like, what in the world? You could see it. He could not do his normal shtick. And the crowd was so captivating. Cody's pyrotechnics came in late because the person on pyro watch was too captivated by the crowd.
About a second late.
Yes. I have seen enough Cody intros. It is boom, on point. No, you could count almost a full second. It was late. I was like, wow, that dude was distracted. I don't blame him. Mm-mm. But the thing is, if you go on, they was on point. They sang that song as he was going down the aisle. He couldn't even be in his mode. He was just marveling, his mouth open, smiling, looking crazy. Okay, look, I want to backtrack to something real quick before this match. And it's not a nitpick. It's not a nitpick. This is a gripe. And if you are a professional wrestler, if you are an aspiring professional wrestler, I want you to hear this. All right? The women's triple threat match. Naomi, during the intros, this is a contest. Naomi is smiling. She is cheering. Like, yay, I'm here. I'm living my dream. Hello, everybody. Let me tell you something. You are the challenger. Your goal is to get over to the people. This is real. This is a contest. This is a competition. This is combat. I'm trying to win. Yeah. If you are in a match, you are the opponent. You're the heel or the face. It don't matter. Bottom barrel leads. You be in your corner and you be looking at that champion, stare a hole in him, and you want the people to think you need to get a lawyer because something bad gonna happen. You gotta be staring a hole into his soul from the other side. You need to be ready. Get your game face on now. Hello, everybody. I'm the Green Barbie.
I don't know what the women were doing, but it absolutely, positively was not and never will be combat.
Yep, I would fine her for that crap. I'm like, I know it's a premium live event. I get that. It's not a high stakes and all. Yeah. But you want the company to look legitimate. Speaking about legitimate, you mentioned something about something making the company look legit. Wish I could remember what it was.
They acknowledged the fact that that Tama Tonga was the IWGP Tag Team Champions.
Yep, and never open weight champion. But never said it was New Japan. They just said in Japan he had these belts.
And I said it makes him look more legitimate because prior to this, or prior to Vince's exit, he tried to create this world as if WWE is the only company there ever was, and the wrestlers spring from the ground, and walk into their training camp, and that's not how it works. So if you have people come into your organization who are former champions and other organizations, it makes it seem more legitimate. It's like, okay, you came from a rival sports team.
Yep, Pepperoni says, I forgot the triple threat happened. Yeah, it wasn't memorable.
No, it wasn't.
I can remember most of the stuff that we've gone over, but that match, I didn't want to watch it. I was like, Naomi took me out the match before it even started.
I don't think you would have been in it anyway.
And when the match had ended, it looked like they had been through hell. It was all sweaty, hair matted, stuff looking all disarray. And I'm like, I don't care.
It's the lights.
It's the lights for them, right? For the Undisputed title match, I didn't notice this with the other matches. I was too busy typing and stuff. But they had basically showbox lighting. That's what they had. It was the lights that are just up they're pointed to each other. It's time for the introduction. And all the lights came down on the ring. I was like, okay, that's championship feel right there. I was like, I'm being pulled in at this moment. The fans are like, we know you're done with your intro, but we got some singing to do. So y'all just hold up while we finish singing this verse. Which once they got done, and you can see the participants and their ring announcer like, we're going to wait. We're going to wait. And when the fans got done, she got started and they was copying what she was saying. They were
announcing right along with her word for word, like they're the announcer fans or something. It was crazy.
And they was all about it. Loved it. The fans pulled me into the match and into the event. And literally, I want to not care. I want to just be like, okay, yeah, it's WWE. Who cares? They pulled me in. I'm not gonna lie. They got me. I won't like all the way in, but I'm like, I can't Debbie Down this. I'm like, I'm watching. Mm-hmm. So now I'm sitting here almost like I'm scouting this damn match. Like I'm gonna hire some wrestlers, like I would do when I would go to wrestling events. So, okay, they start off with some good wrestling, AJ and Cody. And then they started fighting in the corner. The ref they really did not care about her authority. She wasn't even trying to be authoritative. She's like, get out the corner. She's all light voiced and stuff. And I'm like, you need to tell them, break it up now. 1, 2, 3. I will disqualify this match. And they'd be like, oh, okay. You need to have some authority. They just undercut her. They didn't care.
But the problem is everything is already laid out, so all of that
and that's when you get lazy. You're supposed to make it look legit.
Yeah.
Not, hey, I can't do nothing because they ain't done their thing yet. Fine her or fire Triple H already. Get something going, man. Do something about this. Cody does his old Stardust pose, and I was surprised that Michael Cole even mentioned it, as well as both at one point being leader of Bullet Club. That stunned me too. I was like, okay, they ain't gonna say where, but yeah. Bullet Club's been in TNA, it's been in AEW, it started in New Japan. So mentioning it, as you said, gave legitimacy to everything. That was great. AJ delivered a really good Enzigiri. Cedra had to compliment that. And if you've been listening to our commentary, Cedra has been hating the Enzigiri for a while.
AJ did it so well. It was precise. It landed with impact. He looked like he knew what he was doing, what he was trying to do, how he wanted to look, and how hard he wanted to kick. Whereas everybody else just throws their body into the air and just whatever happens. It could be the shoulder, it could be the ear, it could be the top of the head, the hair. It sucks.
And Cody Rhodes sold it well. He won't out like a light, but you could tell he was so stunned. AJ could have had his way with him at that moment. That was good. That was good. Give credibility to a move like that. Cody rolled with AJ's attempted attack and flung him to the ropes, and the bottom rope appeared to yank AJ's head back like a whiplash.
Right across his face.
And it looked like AJ was stunned because he didn't fall out the ring sort of like, how can I say, I'm taking this bump and I want to make it look good. It looked like he wasn't home for a second. Mm-hmm. Not that standardized glassy eye look. It's like, no, this dude ain't home.
It's like he took the rope either across the forehead or across the eyes, to be honest with you.
It made me a little worried. It made me a little worried. They fought on the announcer table. Cody fell from the middle rope on when he tried a superplex attempt. He fell and fell right on his back, and it looked like that hurt him a little bit. And AJ took advantage of that. The fans started, whoop, whoop, too sweet. And I was like, wait, what? I was like, it seems like they just find this stuff to do outside. Like, okay, I was like, look, everybody, we're going to do these chants and these chants, and going to do it at this time. And then we're going to go in. And then after that, they had it all together.
All 11,000 of them, they came together before and coordinated it.
And allegedly, in all of WWE history, for an indoor arena, very specific, the highest attendance rate for an arena.
Because, they go to arenas, they go to stadiums, they go to domes. So you got to get it just right.
Yep. And that's all time around the world. So, all right.
And they were stacked to the rafters, so I'm inclined to believe it.
Yeah. And the fans were up and down so much. CJ was like, they've been standing for 3 hours. I was like, no, they were sitting. And they were sitting, but it's almost like they was waiting to get up. And I had to note, each time AJ gets the upper hand, the fans start chanting something we can't make out, but it's still a bit funny. Mm-hmm. And if any of you out there know what the fans were chanting, let us know.
Because they were on it. Every time AJ took control, they were on it, chanting the same thing, just like the 2 counts. 1, 2, they say something in French, and they go into something else and do the clap. It's like they didn't miss one.
And AJ's like, shut up! Yes. Shut up!
Like I said, look, I said during the show, it seemed like it's antagonizing him.
Yes. AJ landed on the knees of Cody on the Asai moonsault.
It was a pretty moonsault, too.
Yep. Cody hit the springboard Gamagiri for a 2 count. Then AJ hit the Ushigoroshi for a 2 count while the fans were singing song lyrics.
They just broke out into some song in French. And they sung the whole verse, and then when it was over, it was back to the chant as usual.
I don't even think they knew anything happened in the ring.
I don't know. It was crazy. It was crazy.
Like, whose match was this?
I'm telling you, the crowd was the third man in the ring the whole night.
AJ hit an over-rotated release suplex on the apron on Cody. I wish Cody would have sold that a bit more and a bit longer, but okay. And then Cody did get up and be powerbombed AJ through the announce table. Okay. And the ref is counting. The crowd is on it. Mm-hmm. They're on it. And after beating the count into the ring and recovering, they hype each other. They start the match over. And this is how you start to begin the part of a 5-star match. Because they done went through all this. They done beat each other down. It's like, what else can they do? And then they start this. AJ knows exactly what he's doing. And I think, honestly, AJ was calling the majority of this match. And Cody was letting him know what he'd like to do. And they both know each other well. So they probably didn't have to speak a single word in that ring. I didn't see points where they were talking. They might have, but they know how to do it and when to do it. So if they did, it's magic. You wouldn't know. But they hyped each other up. And I mean, you want to do this? You want to go at this again? And I'm like, okay, all right, here you go. Like, Caesar said, ain't y'all been fighting? The fight ain't stopped yet. What you mean go again? I just had to sit over here. I'm typing this right here, what I just read. And I'm just shaking my head like, man, she's calling that out. And so they start fighting in the middle of the ring. That was That is how you do a 1-2 back and forth strike and lead into something else quick. So it don't last too long. It bleeds into other strike levels. And then you go into certain move combinations and whatnot. They did this perfectly. Take notes and learn. That's what you do with that right there. AJ tried his combination and he went for the lariat, and you could tell he didn't even really care to try to hit in the first place. I was annoyed by that one. Rhodes hit his version of the flip flop and fly, which I was like, okay, cool. You know, I was honestly happy to see it. AJ suplexed Cody into the corner high enough for Cody to fall safely. So while it looked brutal, it wasn't, and I enjoyed it. Made me feel good. Keep watching the match. I'm curious to how this is going to end. I know who's going to win, but I'm curious to how it's going to end. So they got me. They got me there, you know. And that, everybody, is what you call doing your job right. You know, when they know who's going to win, but you make it so good, they can't help but to be curious to how it's going to end and watch the whole thing, if they're not too busy chanting and entertaining themselves. AJ hit a swan dive Scorpio splash for a 2 count. Then AJ hit the burning hammer, which Michael Cole called it out, but that was for a 2 count. Cody gets hyped up. He kicks out quick. Cody hit a springboard ace crusher for a 2 count. Then Cody's super kick counters the swan dive elbow attack. That's not a foot jab. That was a super kick. That jacked up AJ. That was pretty good. Oddly, Cody then applies a scissor lock Kimura. Cole called it a Kimura too. That AJ escaped by standing and slamming Cody. So I was like, okay. Cody, he does a rope run ace crusher that AJ had to walk into and then couldn't even bump off of. It was like they fell into a small heap. I was like,
it wasn't great.
That just killed your 5-star right there. That just killed your 5-star. You know, that put it down to 4.5. But then Cody hit Crossroads and got the 1-2-3. Still a damn good match. AJ is still just as phenomenal as he's always been. And Cody, to me, I get to see what Cody can really do. Because to me, AJ ain't got to prove a damn thing.
No, he don't.
I'm still learning Cody. And Cody looked really damn good in this.
The ring announcer announced him as the once again undisputed yada yada, and the crowd was right there with her.
Yep.
And then they began to sing because his music was playing.
And the show ends.
The show ends.
Hey,
I can only imagine how long after they stopped the cameras that crowd was still going.
I just keep it going for the archives and play it later and stuff like that. Only 2 bad matches. Overall, good event. Can't say pay-per-view. Good event. I liked it. They're pulling me back in to be a WWE SmackDown-ish fan.
Watcher.
Yeah, watcher. I'm watching. Part of me is like, all right, so where's the BS? Where is it? I'm waiting. We'll see how it goes.
It's always going to be some. It's always been some. It's always going to be some. But this was pretty good.
We got a lot of wrestling to catch up on. All right.
So y'all just bear with us.
Yeah, please just we're gonna get there. We got a lot to catch up on, like roughly 4, maybe 6 hours of stuff. So hang in there with us. Let us know what you want us to review or something like that. And we will certainly do that. You can get in our Discord so you can listen to us. You can voice bomb, talk to us or whatnot about the match or something like that. It's all good, you know. So with that, this has been Cedric and Cedric for CR Wrestling Commentary, WWE SmackDown's Backlash. And with that, we want y'all to be cool, be chill, be safe, and we will see you next time.